If you are visiting Yosemite for the first time, here are the 12 things you don't want to miss on your first visit. My name is Ash. I'm a former park ranger and the founder of Dirt in My Shoes. And today I want to talk to you all about the 12 things that you don't want to miss on your first visit to Yosemite. So Yosemite is a gorgeous national park, just full of big, giant granite cliffs. You've got huge waterfalls. Some of the biggest waterfalls in America can be found in Yosemite. You've got the Merced River that goes through the park that's just gorgeous, and lots of good hiking trails. I have been to Yosemite many times. I've done a lot of things in the park, and I've narrowed it down to the 12 things that I feel like you don't want to miss on a first vacation. And this will help you really make sure that you get to the best things so that you don't have any fear of missing out, to make sure that you're able to see the best that Yosemite has to offer on your first visit. So let's get started. Number 1, Tuolumne Meadows. So Tuolumne Meadows can be found along the Tioga Road, and this area is just absolutely gorgeous. So you're in the high alpine area of Yosemite. You're close to about 10,000 feet above sea level in this area. And there's lots of wildlife. There's lots of beautiful plants that live here that are very fragile in this meadow. You've got the rivers. You've got some really great hiking trails. So this is a great place to come if you're looking for that high alpine scenery. Tuolumne Meadows has a large campground, a visitor center, some really great hiking trails. You've got like the Soda Springs Trail, the Olmstead Dome Trail, the Cathedral Lakes Trail. There's a lot of great trails in this area. This was also a favorite spot of John Muir's and a big reason why Yosemite was designated a national park in the first place. And so it's a really nice area to come. If you're wanting to visit Tuolumne Meadows, do keep in mind that this is found along the Tioga Road, and this road closes seasonally, and so it's typically only open from about June through October. It will depend on the snow levels and how quickly they're able to get it plowed. So if you're wanting to visit the Tuolumne Meadows, you'll notice on the Yosemite map, you'll have to drive along the Tioga Road here. So that's the road that closes seasonally. And then you'll get to the Tuolumne Meadows area out here. Number 2, Tenaya Lake. Tenaya Lake is also located along the Tioga Road, and so you get this gorgeous high alpine, beautiful lake up here. Again, you're at around 10,000 feet above sea level, and so you just get to see this gorgeous lake, and there's a couple of good places you can go to really experience the beauty of Tenaya Lake. What's cool about Tenaya Lake is that it can just be a quick stop. You can stay and pack a picnic and swim. You will find white sandy beaches on one side of the lake, and you'll find better views of like the lake and mountains on the other side of the lake. So you do have a couple of good options there, but it's just really neat that you're able to drive to this alpine lake. Most of the time you're going to have to hike to beautiful lakes like this, but the road just passes right by it. So on the map, you'll see, again, we're up on the Tioga Road here, and we're driving along here, and Tenaya Lake is just right here. Number 3, Bridalveil Fall. Bridalveil Fall is one of Yosemite's most famous waterfalls, although a lot of people don't actually know what it's called. But this is the waterfall that you'll see as you're first entering Yosemite Valley. So it's on a lot of those iconic shots of Yosemite Valley where you have just the big waterfall coming down the cliffs. Typically, that is Bridalveil Fall that you'll see on those photos. Yosemite is famous for its dramatic waterfalls. I mean, you've just got waterfalls coming off the cliffs almost everywhere in Yosemite Valley, so that is really cool. But Bridalveil Fall, again, is that first one that you'll see as you're coming into the valley. There is a short half-mile round-trip trail that you can take to get up to the base of the waterfall, where you'll then probably get misted by the waterfall and just be able to get really close to it. So that's a fun one. The trail is paved, but it's not recommended to bring strollers or wheelchairs on this because it doesn't have a very good elevation grade. And also pets are not permitted on this trail, so keep that in mind. You will find Bridalveil Fall in Yosemite Valley. So this is the Yosemite Valley here. I'm going to zoom in on this, and Bridalveil Fall is just right here at the very beginning of the valley. Number 4, Sentinel Dome. I love hiking to the top of Sentinel Dome. It's one of those that a lot of people don't do because it doesn't look that exciting, but once you get up there, you're just treated to gorgeous views. What I like about it is you get to be on top of a dome, and so that's really fun. There's a little bit of mild hiking up to the top of the dome. It's not too bad. But when you get up there, you can actually see Yosemite Falls in its entirety, which is about 2,500 feet high. So that's crazy. You can see the whole thing from up there. You also have really amazing views of Half Dome. So the trail to Sentinel Dome is mostly flat. It's about 2.5 miles, 2.2 miles to get to the top of the dome. You'll gain about 400 feet of elevation, and that elevation gain is mostly just at the very end as you're climbing up the dome. It's not really a climb. It's more like a elevated hike to get to the top of the dome. I take my kids up here. They're good hikers. They do fine on this. You will want to keep your kids close if you bring them because there are some steep drop-offs, but at no point does it really feel unsafe. So I like this one for families. It's a really great option. And again, from the top, you're just seeing the entirety of Yosemite Falls. You can see Vernal Fall, you can see Nevada Fall. You're looking down on Yosemite Valley. You've got great views of El Capitan. So you get to see pretty much all of Yosemite's most famous landmarks in this one hike. Sentinel Dome is located along the Glacier Point Road. This is a seasonal road, and so it does close during the winter months. But it's right here, and you'll drive pretty much to the end. You'll find the Sentinel Dome Trail just before you reach Glacier Point at the end of the road. Number 5, the Mist Trail. The Mist Trail is just one of those hikes in Yosemite that if you can hike, you should at least go a little ways on this trail. It takes you to the top of Vernal Fall. If you keep going, it takes you to the top of Nevada Fall. These are some massive, beautiful, powerful waterfalls in Yosemite Valley. The Mist Trail gets its name because it will heavily mist you as you're hiking. You will get drenched if you time it right. So typically this is the months of about May and June. As you get into July, August, these waterfalls will start to dry up and the flow will get a lot lower. And so if you want to be misted by the Mist Trail, then you'll want to try to plan your trip during May or June. What's really cool about this one is you're climbing actually little steps that go up the side of Vernal Fall. So you're really close to the waterfall. It's taking you right up the cliffs next to it. And then you get to stand at the top. And if you want to keep going, you can go up to Nevada Fall, which is an even bigger waterfall. And you can actually climb up the switchbacks right there and get to the top of Nevada Fall. And then you can loop around, you can catch a portion of the John Muir Trail if you want to, and come around and get some really great views of the waterfalls. So this is a really great one. I love this trail. If you can only do one day hike while you're in Yosemite, I recommend this one. I do have a full trail guide on Dirt in My Shoes that will walk you through this. It can be varying lengths depending on how far you want to go and what you want to see. And this will talk you through good turnaround points or walk you through the whole Mist Trail if that interests you. If you're wanting to hike the Mist Trail, then you'll be in Yosemite Valley here. Let me zoom in. And you're taking the shuttle all the way to the Happy Isles Nature Center and catching the Mist Trail up this way from there. Number 6, Mirror Lake. Mirror Lake is found in Yosemite Valley. It's a quieter area. You can get off the beaten path a little bit here and take a few trails around the lake. It's not really a lake. It is seasonal. It does dry up as the summer goes on, but it's a really beautiful place to come if you're wanting to get the granite peaks reflected in the water. You're also standing right below Half Dome, so that's really cool. You can see the sheer face of Half Dome right above you. A 2-mile trail takes you to Mirror Lake. This trail is paved. It's wheelchair accessible, so that's really nice. If you're visiting Yosemite in the late summer or fall, the lake may be completely dry by then. If you do that, then you could still hike up here. It's a nice quieter area. It's beautiful. Again, you can keep going beyond that 2-mile trail that leads to Mirror Lake if you're wanting to look for a little bit more solitude. But if you hike it later in the summer, then you'll just see a beautiful meadow. You won't actually see the lake. So keep that in mind. But this one's really great because it is wheelchair accessible to the lake, so it's a really good option for wheelchairs and strollers. It's paved, it's mostly flat, and it's just a beautiful view when you get up in there. To get to Mirror Lake, you'll be in the Yosemite Valley area here, and you'll take the shuttle over and around, and the trailhead is about right here, and then you can walk up this way. Number 7, Lower Yosemite Fall. Lower Yosemite Fall is one of those famous waterfalls in Yosemite Valley that you won't want to miss. It's a nice flat trail to get to the base of this waterfall. And this is kind of unique because it's actually just the lower portion of Yosemite Falls, which is a massive waterfall in Yosemite. It's about 2,500 feet long. And Lower Yosemite Falls is the bottom portion of that. So you're looking at about a 320-foot waterfall, which is still massive in its own right, but it is part of a much, much larger waterfall. So as you're walking to Lower Yosemite Fall, you will be able to see upper and lower. So you can see in this picture here, you can see both, but you'll be going down to the base of Lower Yosemite Fall. This hike is a 1-mile loop. Part of that loop is wheelchair accessible, so it's great for people of all ages and abilities. This is considered a developed area of Yosemite, so you can bring a leashed pet here on the sidewalks that travel to the waterfall. Do be aware that this waterfall does dry up as the summer goes on, and so if you're visiting in August or September, the waterfall may be completely dry. To get here, you'll be in Yosemite Valley, so we're right here in this area. Zooming in, you're taking the shuttle right around to here, and then you're hiking up to the falls from here. Number 8, the Valley View Viewpoint. This is one of my favorite views of Yosemite Valley. You've got the beautiful granite monoliths, you've got the river right in the foreground, and a waterfall, Bridalveil Fall, just right there. So you get great views of Yosemite Valley from here. Valley View is situated near the end of the Yosemite Valley Road, and it's on a one-way road, so it is kind of hard to find. It's not very well marked, and a lot of people just pass right by this one. So definitely make sure that you stop here. It is one of my very favorite views of Yosemite Valley. Taking a look at a map, zooming into Yosemite Valley, you'll take this road around here. This is a one-way road, and so you're circling around the entire valley basically to get down to the other side. You'll pass El Capitan, you'll keep driving on this one way, and then you'll get to Valley View here as you're coming out of the valley. Number 9, Tunnel View Viewpoint. Another iconic view of Yosemite Valley can be found at the Tunnel View Viewpoint. This is the one that most people know about. This is where you'll find a lot of crowds. You'll see a lot of people up here trying to get an amazing shot of Yosemite Valley. From Tunnel View, you'll get great views of El Capitan. You've got Bridalveil coming down the cliffs there. You've got a little bit of Half Dome peeking out through there. And so it's just a really beautiful, iconic view of Yosemite. To get to Tunnel View, you'll actually drive out of Yosemite Valley. So you're right in here if you're going, and you'll loop around here, and then you'll see Tunnel View right up in here. So it's not technically part of the Yosemite Valley area down here. You'll actually come up and above so that you can get that really great bird's eye view of Yosemite Valley. Number 10, Olmstead Point. Olmstead Point is a smaller viewpoint that a lot of people don't know about, but it's really cool because you get gorgeous views of Half Dome, Clouds Rest, and Tenaya Lake from up here. So Olmstead Point is in Yosemite's high country. You're above Yosemite Valley from here. So you're looking down at Half Dome, you're looking down at Clouds Rest from the opposite direction as you would from Yosemite Valley. So you'll notice that Half Dome looks backwards from what you're probably used to. That's because you're back behind it looking towards Yosemite Valley. So that's really interesting. But what really steals the show here is Clouds Rest, which is another just massive granite formation that a lot of people don't know about, but you'll see it in this photo. It's that big giant mountain behind Half Dome. So that's a really cool one to see. Olmstead Point is also a great area to come to see Tenaya Lake. You get a gorgeous view of Tenaya Lake with the surrounding mountains. This is also a fun place to come to try to see marmots. So I love Olmstead Point. If you're wanting to get to Olmstead Point, then you'll drive along the Tioga Road up here. This is the high alpine area of Yosemite, and you'll find Olmstead Point right here. Number 11, Glacier Point. Glacier Point is yet another one of Yosemite's most iconic places to take a photo. So Glacier Point is up above Yosemite Valley, and you just get fantastic views of Half Dome from up here. Glacier Point is perched on the edge of the cliff right above Yosemite Valley. So when you get there, you're looking down into the valley. You've also got just fantastic views of Half Dome. It's basically straight across from you. It feels like you can reach out and touch it. You'll be able to see Vernal and Nevada Fall from up here. It's just a really beautiful, wonderful viewpoint. When you get to Glacier Point, you'll park. You'll have to walk a short distance actually out to the viewpoint. This short pathway is wheelchair accessible, so that's really nice. Pets are not permitted in this area. You will find a little gift shop, snack bar area up in here, some restrooms, but otherwise you're just up here perched on the cliff looking out at Yosemite Valley and Half Dome. If you're wanting to go to Glacier Point, you'll drive down here and hit the Glacier Point Road, which is this road right here, and you'll just drive all the way out to the end of it to reach Glacier Point. And the last thing that you don't want to miss on your first visit to Yosemite is the Mariposa Grove. The Mariposa Grove is a grove of giant sequoia trees. These trees are phenomenal. I am so excited for you to take a walk through this grove. So when you get to the Mariposa Grove, you will park and you'll take a shuttle up to the actual grove. And from there you can take a hike through these trees. What's cool about the sequoia trees is that they are the largest trees in the world by volume, meaning that they're just so thick. They're really tall, but they're really thick, and it is incredible to walk among these giants. You can just wander as far as you want. I mean, there's a couple of really good trails in this area. You're just going through the grove, seeing the trees. I definitely recommend at least making it out to the grizzly giant and the California tunnel tree if you can. I like to go even further than that because it does quiet down a lot once you get past those trees. And so that's really nice if you're looking for some solitude. You will want to be aware that pets are not permitted in the Mariposa Grove, but you will love just hiking along these trails and enjoying the views of the beautiful trees. The Mariposa Grove is located in the Wawona area of the park, which is the very southern part of the park. So you'll drive down this way. You've got Wawona right here, a visitor center and a history center. And then you'll park here at the Mariposa Grove Welcome Plaza. That's where you'll catch the shuttle that will then take you up here to the Mariposa Grove. Okay, there's the 12 things that you don't want to miss on your first visit to Yosemite. It takes about 4 days to get through these 12 things. So keep that in mind that if you don't have that much time in the park, then you may not be able to see them all on your first visit, but I highly recommend trying to get to all of them if you can. If you need more help planning your trip, you can click on over to Dirt in My Shoes. I have a ton of information about planning a trip to Yosemite. You'll find information on how to get there, what's open, how many days to spend, the best time to visit, where to stay, things to do. I even have a full itinerary where you don't have to do any more planning. You can just get the itinerary and follow it and know that you're seeing the best things in the time that you have. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. I'm so glad to have you here, and I hope that you have a fantastic trip to Yosemite.